Hello and welcome back to the Introduction to Exploration or Exploration 101. In this part, we will talk about how to scan the sites that we got to know down using the ship that we have previously gotten with the equipment that is needed for the job. So let's get right into it. First of all, we will have to use our core probe launcher to launch our probes next to us, open our scanners window, and the map of the system by pressing F9, or if you have the window docked, it will open together with the system map window. First of all, as you can see, we have a lot of anomalies, but since we are not talking about them and not using them, we will just right click. You can click the first or last one and shift click to get the range, or just control click the ones that you want to interact with, right click and then ignore result. Then we are left only with the cosmic signatures. So how do we work with this little window? First of all, the most important thing that you can get is the probe size and the formations that you will be using. For scanning down signatures, what you want is the pinpoint location formation and 8 AU range to start with. Once you have that out, you might also want to make your life a little bit easier. So instead of having to click through the sizes by yourself, what you can do is hit escape and then go to shortcuts, and if you search for probe, as you can see, the refresh probe scan, so release and use the scanning is B for Bravo by default, but you can bind, and I have done that with M for Mike and N for November, with the increase and decrease probe scan range. So I can use it, do that using the keyboard shortcuts instead of having to manually click and search for that window every single time. So we have our probes out, and as you can see, I'm grabbing all of them at the same time by just grabbing the cube over here. We have the pinpoint location and 8 AU range, and what you want to do is most of the time you will want to find a signature that is of interest to you. You can click it to make sure you pinpoint to it and center your system map over it. And if you double click the system map, it will flip by 90 degrees. So you can just flip here, we are centered, so we'll hit analyze. And we wait for a moment for this to finish. Once this is finished, we'll get some results. So usually what you will start with is the sphere that is showing up. And since we had a pretty good scan, as you can see, this signature has changed to 4% scan down, and it is a point. If you have a point, what you do is center it again, lower your range twice. So from 8 AU we go to 4 and 2 AU, and we analyze again. So if everything goes fine, you will keep analyzing and dropping your range. If this comes out as one single point, at least 25%, you will see what that signature is. In this scenario, we have a combat site, so we will lower this once more and scan again. And this one is a Federation Detention Center or Federation Detention Facility. Since this is not of interest for us, we will ignore that one and keep going. Just to make sure I get some different results for the scanning, I will just do a random scan to show you other results that you can have out of your scanning window, hopefully. Let's make sure we do this and scan again, because The point is the perfect scenario where you do lower the resolution and you keep going. The other result that you can have is the sphere, of course. Then you keep the range the same, center it, scan again till you get a point. Another result that is here is the two dots here connected by a dashed line. What you can do is two things. You either keep the range and center in the middle of them to make sure to grab both of them, or since we were here when we scanned this, you can go to the furthest point from the moment where you scanned, hover over it, lower your range twice, and in 90% of the time this will actually give us a better result than keeping the range that way. You have to go towards the further one though, and as you can see we have a data site done. And another last result that we can get in a dashed line circle. So there is a dot with a circle going around it in a dashed line. What you do then is exactly the same as with sphere. So you just keep the same range, center over it, and make sure you pinpoint till you get a dot and you can go down. Another trick that you can do is that if you have a situation like here, we have two signatures that are next to our celestials, so some belts, a planet, and moons. They all the signatures, regular signatures, will spawn only 4 AU from celestials. So in this scenario we had a lot of them, so it's kind of tough to distinguish which ones were they spawning on. However, here everything is far, so what you can do, you can center over the celestials and hit scan with 4 AU range. This should give you some good scanning start, because those two signatures should be going around here. And as you can see, we have a point on both of them. So we choose one of them, center it out, lower the range twice, and keep scanning till we get it. And that is basically it when it comes to scanning. There is not much more that can be done, really. The only thing that is left is to keep training your skills, to get the base sensor strength up, to get better equipment like the sisters core probes and stuff like that. And last but not least, if you ever are on the brink of scanning something down, like you are on 95% but you cannot break through, you know what site it is, because I think at 85% scanning down you will have the name of the site already, and you really want to get there. What you can do is hold Control and you will see those little arrows here. You can grab them together to make sure you are centered around that. We are on 52%. We'll see if it works on such a low percentage, but it in general should. 52.1, and we are going up to 87, so it can actually help you make sure you punch through and gain those few last percent if you are lacking the scan strength. However, as a rule of thumb, you will need more scan strength in order to do it. And if you want to, after getting this a little circle reset, you can always launch the pinpoint formation. So as I said, this will be it when it comes to the scanning section of Exploration 101, and I will see you in the last part where we will talk about the hacking minigame and how to get that done. Thank you for watching.